What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the BallGame podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Matt.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Chris. So today we're going to be previewing the AFC and the NFC North, a podcast that we had already previously recorded. Now we have two podcasts in the Shadow Realm.
How many is it total, you think, are in the Shadow Realm?
We were talking about this last night in the PlayStation party because I told them, they were like, man, like, that stinks. Like, you should have just stayed on the game. I was like, all right. But they were like, how many do you think you have in the Shadow Realm? I was like, I feel like max 10.
I was going to say, you think it's a dozen?
It's not that many, but like 10 out of, we're coming up on, this is like 148 right now. I feel like
an 8% rate at this point.
Bro,
like 7%.
I'm the producer, bro. I have no idea how any of this stuff works, bro. Like, I'm doing the best I can.
We gotta make a positional change. No, but
I'm doing the best I can. It makes me feel so much better when someone sits
there. Yeah, man. I agree with you. It's so much easier because we like. At least you feel some sense of comfort that like someone's paying attention.
Yeah, no. I mean, I feel like since I've been on here, it's the last two, but before that, I feel like maybe 2 or 3 got lost in the Shadow Realm. Yeah,
I think it hadn't been for a while.
I think a few when we like probably first moved down here.
Yes.
Yeah.
It hadn't been for a while, bro. And then we had 2 back-to-back for different reasons. And the second one that we did was our wide receiver rankings. And that one was that was a tough one to lose to. So it's just, it is what it is. We'll be doing our wide receiver rankings eventually, hopefully with special guests. This episode was supposed to have a special guest too, but a certain somebody who I'm not going to put on blast didn't answer his fucking phone today. So not in the best of moods with that man right now. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, okay. 2 shout-outs real quick. Shout out to the U.S. Olympic
He put you in a real
team.
pickle, huh?
What?
He put you in a real pickle, huh?
Wow. That was a good one.
If you know, you know.
Nice. If you know, you know. Shout out to the U.S. men's Olympic team. They were in first place the last time I checked. I'm assuming they're probably still in first place. And it only goes by golds. So I believe we have the most golds, maybe by a few more now, whatever it is. Regardless, we're dominating overall with medals. So we are top tier. We're the best athletes in the world. This is peak male athleticism right here.
Male athleticism, yeah, for sure.
Peak male athleticism right here. So, Team USA, keep on keeping on, guys. Like, best of luck. Men and women, you guys are absolutely dominating, and keep that shit up. Also,
Chilling with fucking Penn Affleck playing the game.
Ben Affleck.
Peak male athleticism.
Peak male athleticism is the second worst division in our men's league basketball league.
Sitting at what, 2 and 4?
2 and 5, actually. Get it right. 2 and 5.
Have we played 7 games already? Jesus
yeah, I think
Christ.
we have. I've missed like
I feel like
3.
I've been there for like 3. Yeah,
I've only played. I think I've played 4.
I've missed 3. I've missed 3 so far.
Yeah, it's tough.
And we are 2 and 2 in the games I've showed up to. So
Yep.
We've only won without Gallo.
Yes.
Gallo needs a ride to the game tomorrow. I told him I'll take him.
don't show up to his house. Do not pick him up.
Oh, like, oh man, where are you?
do not pick him up, bro. You guys
I
will
would say
lose.
on my way as I'm sitting in the bleachers putting my shoes on.
You guys
That's
will
crazy.
absolutely lose if you get Gallo. I'm telling you right now. So whether you get good Gallo or bad Gallo, it doesn't seem.
Nah, I'm shooting at least 10 shots tomorrow.
Yeah,
That's
me too.
my goal. I gotta get them up,
Fuck
bro.
it, yeah.
You've been very passive.
Bro, I like seeing you guys win. And sometimes it's funny when I pass you guys. You guys do funny things with the ball. So, like, I enjoy, I don't know. It's nice, like, just watching you guys, like not being the one messing up. Like, I don't know. And sometimes you get, bro, like, with Gallo, like Gallo needs to get his shots up, bro. Like, if Gallo's not getting...
definitely does need to get
if
his shots
Gallo's
up.
not getting his shots up, he's not valuable. Like, I feel like I'm valuable for my passing and for my, like, defense, I guess, sometimes.
No,
And, like, my rebounding and shit like that. Like, Gallo, like, he's... Malosha is only valuable for scoring.
Right.
Trunks, most of the time, is only valuable for maybe making a few shots. Other than that, it's bad. The last few times I played with Trunks, it's been bad.
Yeah, I mean, let's think about this. Like, Gallo needs to score the basketball, yeah. Sammy's valuable for everything.
Yeah, but I've only played one game with Sammy, and we won. It was
that
the
one
game
of the 2
after
games we won?
Nashville.
Oh my God, we blew them out.
No, we barely beat.
We beat them by 20, bro.
I don't think I was there for that game.
So you weren't. We started that game. I got there late.
We didn't score for like the first 10 minutes of the game.
They literally were down when I got there. 7 minutes into the game.
Bro, I felt the hot chicken just bouncing up and down in my stomach. This was right after Nash, bro.
Yeah.
I was a mess, bro.
11-0.
No, that's real.
11-0, 7 minutes into the game. So then I wait. Finally, it's 11-2. And I'm like, all right, you know what? I don't feel good, but like, it's 11-2. I have to go in this game. I get in the game, and not even 20 seconds into the game, I dive for a loose ball, crash into the table, and save it. We get a fast break layup and start a 10-0 run.
Wow.
Wild shit, bro. Wild shit. I call myself Josh Hart because I am Josh Hart.
This might be your best season of men's league.
What?
This might be your best season of men's league, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
No, you've been balling.
I really have had.
Man, how are we going to win tomorrow?
I know. That's what I'm saying, bro.
We're fucked.
Now we got Gallo instead of you.
Or do we?
It's so sad. You know, it makes zero sense because Gallo is a better basketball player than I am. Yeah, he's clearly a better basketball player than I am.
He's just more not smart.
yeah, to say the least. Gallo.
I don't know. That one game that I don't think you were there for it, and it was the game that you slept through. But like me and Gallo's girlfriends were there too, and Trunks and Gallo just collapsed down the stretch of the game, like so bad. And like I don't know if we were up or not, but like it was a close game. They had one big dude who was he was cooking us, like constantly just cooking us. We were all in foul trouble because he was just getting every foul call. It was one of those, but they just kept turning Trunks was through like 2 backcourt violations.
Trunks is the worst point guard ever.
The 2 of them were doing the thing where they just don't pick up the ball and they try to pass it like off the live.
Yeah, Trunks does that all the time.
Just like, dog, like you're not Chris Paul.
Right.
Like you're Matt Trincali, you're Joe Gatt. Like you're not that guy. Like pick up the ball and pass it. Like I just don't understand. I
I think Trunks thinks in his head that he's a good point guard.
Trunks is just he's the worst.
He's a horrible point guard.
Like he has his moments, but his bad is bad.
Have I become the better version of Trincali now?
I don't know. They're saying you're shooting like that.
You're shooting way better than him on the season. Yeah. Trunks, you got to get your shit together, man.
Yeah.
You know.
My last 2 games, man. I've been.
No, we're winning tomorrow night, though.
I hope you guys win, man.
Who do we have?
I want to see
me, you, Tang.
I think everyone
Sammy,
besides
Trunks,
Matt
and
and
Sammy.
Probably Sam. Not Sammy. He said he's like 50-50.
Okay. All right.
Sammy,
yeah, we'll be fine.
But we have Luch, bro. We're good.
We do have Luch. Luch is nice, bro.
Luch is really good.
Luch is a king.
He's nice.
Luch is really good, bro.
The best.
You know, it was kind of wild because that was the first time in my life, that last game, that like people were looking to get me the ball.
Yeah, that was good, right?
Nuts. That was nuts, bro. I hit 4 out of my first 5. And everyone was like, all right, get Matt the ball, And then Sammy just didn't pass it to me when I was wide open, top of the key. And I was like, dude, pass me the fucking ball. What are we doing? I'm hot.
No, Luch was actually cooking in that first half. And then you started hitting shots, and then just no one looked for Luch.
Yeah, you seen that video of Green and Sammy?
No.
I don't know who's Green. I don't know who
Green
that is. I saw
was
it, but
the guy who led us into Reflex Radio when we first started the podcast.
No way.
He had a dog named Leo that I think he just found, but he posted his like men's league highlights. And
he's on Sammy's team.
Sammy was playing with him.
What?
Sammy was like a side character in Green's fucking highlight reel, bro. It was bad funny,
It's Green's career.
I was crying, bro. This shit was bad funny.
Shout out Green, man. Missed that guy. Haven't seen him in forever, bro.
Look. There's.
This is wild, dude.
Sammy's right there.
Yo, what the hell?
Sammy with the lay.
Wow. Oh my God.
Green's career. Dime.
Yo! Why does he keep assisting Sammy? Oh
He's
my
like
God.
George Gervin.
Yo, is he nice?
He's a finger roll like Clyde Drexler. The pass, the dump off pass to Sammy for the reverse.
Oh
Yeah, no,
my
that was
God,
crazy.
he's a point
that was
guard.
crazy.
He's a
Yeah,
point guard.
we
Wow.
should get Green to play for
Bro,
us.
this guy, they just, you know how they show like we're watching the Little League
This was
tournament
the
right
other
now.
shout out I was gonna
Yeah,
give.
so they just showed like his name and then something about, and all it said was wants to meet Ken Griffey Jr.
That's how you meet Ken Griffey Jr. though.
I guess, yeah. But, like,
so that's
and then the
how
next
you meet.
kid, they'll have like favorite food, mozzarella sticks.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly. Real class act over there.
right, yeah.
Also, this was the second shout out I was gonna give. This is South Shore Little League representing New York in the Eastern District Finals for the Little League World Series. So
That kid looks pissed.
big shout out to Staten Island.
Staten Island's finest,
Staten Island
representing
kids,
New
baby.
York in the.
When he first put this shit on, he said to me, he said, yeah, South Shore's in this. They're the blue and white team. I said, buddy, they're both blue and white.
Bro,
mean,
I
they are
would have
blue.
They're both
clearly
blue and
said
white.
dark blue or navy blue and white.
I guess.
They both have blue
I
and
they're
white.
both
very
blue.
clearly would have said they're different shades of blue.
Right.
When
I
you
feel like
say
you would've-
blue,
yeah, you would have specified that. That's what I'm
No.
saying. Why'd you even say
but
blue and white?
that's a blue. That is when you
Bro,
say
they're
blue.
both
That's what
blue, bro.
that is what you think of when you say
Bro,
blue.
the guy pitching, he's wearing a blue, white, and red
he
jersey.
is wearing a blue.
yes, but it's
jersey.
navy blue.
It's, And they're wearing.
And what's
Blue.
it? And what's in the term navy blue?
Nah, it's blue.
Blue.
Anyway, we don't have to argue
Come
over
on,
technicalities.
Come on,
It's
man.
alright.
We are here to talk some football as preseason football, aside from the Hall of Fame game, will be kicking off tomorrow. Giants-Lions. I will be at that game, so if any of you see this and want to meet up at the game, let me know. I'd love to do that. I'm looking forward to it. Maybe there's going to be a fight or two. Who
Yo,
the
you
hell
should
knows?
bring a mic and interview people.
Yeah, I should. I think we have one over there or something. I should definitely bring a mic. I hope we have one. But yeah,
Man,
so
the interview at the Knicks games were fucking crazy.
those were off the rails.
They were insane.
I wish we had a better quality mic.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that
Yeah, I know.
kind of sold the whole thing. I'm not gonna lie.
I
but
should get one.
We'll
for
invest.
the
Yeah, we'll invest in
NFL
that for
season.
sure.
Yeah, because we're gonna. Be
I feel
going
like we
to-
should all get them to do. Nick always tells it, just a sidetrack. Oh, but Nick always tells us to do like those little like TikTok games that like have like the filters and stuff like that. Like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
blind ranking filters and stuff like that. So if we all get a nice whole clip on mic, we could just get out more TikTok content. But
clip on mics would help out a lot.
and then we have them to take to games. I want to go to mad football games.
I definitely want. I want to go to playoff baseball games for the Yankees. I'm not gonna lie. That's my first priority right
shit's
now.
too expensive.
I'll worry about.
I went to the Yankee game the other day.
Yeah.
Chicken bucket. It was good shit. It was good.
Yo, I will never buy those.
Gallo died.
What?
Gallo
Gallo
went to the
died?
freaking hospital after they left early. Bro.
Wait, what?
Well, all right, we got the 4:30 ferry, right? Me and Amanda got there first. Kevin Loring got there. Gallo and Bianca are like, we're pulling up now. We're parking at 4:22. We're like, bet the doors are open, so run. They say running in the chat. They missed the ferry. We're on the ferry already, so they missed the ferry. They're behind us. We get to Billy's, wearing Billy's, chilling, drinking, doing the thing.
Billy's
They
is lit.
pull up like a little bit after because they got on the later ferry. Gallo's like, I'm so hungry. We're stuck in Billy's though because it's rain delay.
Right.
It's pouring outside. We don't want to go stand outside, wait in line to get into the stadium. We wait for the rain. We get to the stadium. We're like, we need chicken buckets. We're hangry. Gallo's like, yeah, my head hurts. I don't feel good. I haven't eaten all day. Gets chicken bucket and a cup of soda. Doesn't even touch chicken bucket. Drinks soda.
Eat soda.
Drink soda. I asked Gallo, like, what's the matter? He's like, I don't feel good. I have a headache. I'm like, well, did you eat today? He's like, no, I haven't eaten anything, and I had like a cup of water. I was like, yeah, so you should drink water and eat.
Hydrated.
He's like, I don't feel good enough to eat. And then like in like the 7th inning, they left to go home, and then he made Bianca take him to the hospital.
Oh my God.
Was he dehydrated? Was that what?
Yeah,
it
they
was?
gave him
Probably,
like
yeah,
IV.
they gave him
and
IV,
stuff,
yeah.
Nice. Well done,
Fucking
Gallo.
Classic
Dumbass.
Gallo, yeah.
Well done, Gallo. Why
Yeah.
does this? So yeah, in
Stay
case you
hydrated.
guys- yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely stay hydrated.
Yeah.
In case you guys don't know the Gallo we were talking about from basketball, that gives you an idea of Gallo.
Yeah, everyone has a Gallo in their friend group.
That's not.
No,
true.
everyone
Our
has a
Gallo is very special.
No, our Gallo is definitely unique.
one
No,
of a
they're not all
kind.
the same, but like there's an archetype, you know?
He's one of a kind.
Yeah.
He's certainly one of
One
a
of one.
kind. He's one of one.
One of
yeah.
the kinds.
Yeah, yeah. And speaking of
Alright.
one of ones, we're going to jump into these divisions. And we'll start off with the NFC North.
Yep.
And we'll start off with the one of one, the man that's going to be featured on Hard Knocks for the training camp edition, and that is Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. See, my transitions are starting to make some sense.
Yeah, I had no fucking clue.
You had no idea where that was going
with that one of one thing.
Exactly.
But okay, it all came together.
There we go. We build it.
Not bad.
So, yeah, we're going to start with the NFC North. We'll start with the Chicago Bears, who, Tom, take it away. What is their over-under?
So the Chicago Bears are sitting at an over-under of 8.5 wins. These are all as of FanDuel that you're going to hear today. So Chicago at 8.5. Man, I don't know who I picked to do what last time, so it's all fresh. But
good thing we gave it some time to let it breathe a little bit.
Man, 9 games is a lot of games. Like I would love to like be on the Bears hype train, but 9 games, 9-7 is a high bar.
9-8.
9-8. I'm sorry, yeah, math. Right. That's a high bar. I'm gonna take the under. I don't know. I mean, I know the Bears defense was kind of balling at the second half of last season, so they could come out, carry that over. I haven't looked at their schedule, so I could give a glance real quick. I don't know if you guys want to go game by game. I know we did that last time.
This could be one of the teams we do that for.
I think we just end up doing it for every team for the most part. So, sure. But, I mean, you got to think their division. This is going to be one of the tougher divisions in football. Best case is they split with everyone. I don't see that happening. I'm sure they're going to drop 2 to at least the Packers or the Lions. And, you know, Caleb is Caleb Williams, but he's still a rookie. I mean, it'd be pretty extraordinary to do things like C.J. Stroud did last year. Like, you'd be asking him a lot. You'd be asking him to have one of the best rookie seasons of all time. But then again, he is that kind of prospect. So,
and has the weapons.
Yeah, I'm kind of like deciding as I'm talking about it. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna take the under here. I say they get 7 or 8.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to feel about the Chicago Bears. I mean, you said it before we even started that Nick Wright had them as the favorites in the NFC.
He picked them to make the Super Bowl. That's
got to be
that is
one of the most
crazy.
Ridiculous things I've ever heard in my entire life.
Ever.
It's almost as ridiculous as what happened to you in your conference championship game,
wow.
to be entirely honest. I'm sorry to bring back.
You just did not need to bring that up.
I'm sorry to bring back open wounds. I really apologize for that, but it's almost as ridiculous as that shit. You get a job like that, and I guess when you're in that situation, it's like you could just say whatever the hell you feel like saying.
Your job is to get ratings up, get views up. So yeah.
Like Nick Wright, shout out to you, I guess, because you're doing what you're supposed to do. You are drawing eyes. And we're talking about
Nick
you right
Wright's
now.
usually one of the real ones, though. Like
yeah.
So I'll give it to him.
He's not serious about that.
I'll give it to him.
He's not serious about
What was
that.
he about the Chiefs last year? He said they weren't going to lose a game.
I don't even remember.
He said some shit about the Chiefs, and he had to like do something crazy when they lost because they lost week 1 to Detroit. It was something crazy.
He's not serious about that. And look, the thing is, when you say things like that, you make these claims, it doesn't matter because guess what? Nobody's going to care in the end. So if you end up being right in that 1% chance, you look like the smartest man on the planet.
You take the craziest victory lap of all time.
Yes.
But if you're wrong, no one's going to even bat an eye. Yeah.
No one's going to bat an eye because it was a stupid claim in the first place.
Right.
So, look, I like the team. I do. But it's a tough division at the top. I think there are 2 teams better than them, and that's why I'm going to take the under. I think they end up going 8-9, and look, if they go over, I think it'll be 9-8. That's why these lines are so damn good, as we always say.
Yeah.
So
lines are.
I love the weapons. I like the offensive line. It's young and it's improving, but the defense, I know how good it was down the stretch of last season, but I just can't see them being that damn dominant once again. I think they'll be solid, respectable. But I don't know if they're going to be that dominant once again, and I don't know if that's going to carry you to multiple wins against the top 2 in this division as well. So I'm going to go with the under for this team, although I do like some of the pieces on both sides of the ball.
I'm going over on the Chicago Bears. I don't know if you guys saw. I didn't watch the entire episode, but I saw the clip. They introed Caleb Williams on Hard Knocks with the Michael Jordan Chicago Bulls theme. And
that came out, the Hard Knocks for them?
Yeah,
Oh,
and the
okay.
first thing they said was this guy could be the biggest athlete in Chicago since Michael Jordan, and I mean,
Oh Lord.
It's a lot of
listen,
high
it's
stakes.
they said he could be, and that's kind of what it is. Like he's not a lock to be that, but I mean, as a prospect, like that's how good this guy is. He's a franchise changer, and I mean, we talked about it throughout the offseason. You know, they got Keenan Allen in the summer, and this is one of the better, if not the best, situation offensively for a rookie quarterback that we've ever seen them step right into. And I mean, I believe in the talent of Caleb Williams. I mean, he's the closest thing we've seen as a prospect to Patrick Mahomes. And listen, I don't think he's going to be Patrick Mahomes. I think Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback ever, or top 2 at minimum. But if he can be like Patrick Mahomes and be able to just take over a game the way he can with his manipulation of the pocket and the way he moves and the way he can make any throw at any angle off any type of footing, back footing, throwing across body, throwing deep balls, this guy could really make every throw in the book. And if with NFL coaching he kind of puts it all together and learns how to play within the flow of the game and only do those, kind of things such as rolling out and getting outside the pocket when necessary, if he could really, take a jump as a pocket passer in his rookie year and show that more of he has good pocket presence, but
Can you?
I guess just an ability to stay in there and sometimes just stay in there, take a hit and make a throw, Like that's kind of what we need to see. That's kind of, I think, the biggest thing that people are looking for in Caleb Williams this year. And listen, man, I believe in the talent. And then you talk about the defensive side of the ball. I mean, you mentioned it. This is a defense that finished pretty great overall, and they really climbed up the ranks. I mean, I have it right here. From week 9 on, so the second half of the year, this is probably post-Montez Sweat trade, they were the 5th-ranked defense in terms of EPA per play. This defense really turned it around. You had Jalen Johnson, who you paid and locked up, who broke out, and I think, he was an All-Pro last year. We did the Madden rating sick talk the other day, but Jalen Johnson not being a top 100 player, he wasn't a top 100 player after being an All-Pro. I think that's pretty crazy, but this is a guy who's a top 5 corner in the game. They have a bunch of young pieces on that secondary, such as Tyreek Stevenson. You brought in a guy like Kevin Byard to be your safety, who he's old. He might be a little bit washed, but he's kind of reliable to hold things down over the top. You have a good linebacker duo with TJ Edwards and Mr. Tremaine Edmonds. So I think they have a lot of pieces there that, like you mentioned, the offensive line is young and getting better. I think the biggest question for them is probably the pass rush outside of Montez Sweat. But, if Caleb Williams is as good as advertised and can, kind of keep this trend alive of recent rookie quarterbacks to kind of set the league on fire, there's no reason this team can't get to 9 wins. Like you guys mentioned, the lines are what they are for a reason.
Right.
This team there's no reason they shouldn't be around 8 or 9 wins fighting for, we're going to talk about it. We all agree that first place in the NFC, there's one clear and obvious team, but there's no reason the Chicago Bears shouldn't be right there for second place in the NFC North and fighting for a potential wild card spot. So I'm in on the Bears. I'm going to go with the over.
So one thing I want to bring up before we move on, Caleb, I'm just looking at something else real quick. Okay.
Jordan Howard. That's what I want to bring up.
Yeah, all right. There he is. So Caleb's line on Underdog is 3,600 and a half passing yards and 23 and a half touchdowns. If he gets around there, is that enough for 9 wins, you think? Because I looked, that's what I was doing this whole time. I looked, that's about what Geno Smith did last year. I just used that as a frame of reference. 3,600 with 20 touchdowns was Geno, and they won 9 games. So, just use that as a...
Depends how the defense does. If the defense is able to build off last year and be potentially a top 10 unit in the league.
And is that, sorry to cut you off, but is that a good enough season for Caleb as a rookie? 3,623?
Great rookie season.
Okay.
But is that good enough for...
It's not all about the Bears winning right now, obviously.
No, I agree.
No,
I was just,
this
asking.
is his rookie year. Obviously, they accelerated the window a little bit with some of the moves they made, such as the Keenan Allen. But
when you get a guy like Caleb, though, I think that's necessary.
It's a long-term thing. But you really just want to see flashes out of him. But this is a team that should be able to win games. So it's not one of those things where it's a situation of like, it doesn't matter how many games we win or lose. Like, it's only about him showing flashes, because this is a team and a roster that's good enough to win games. So part of like the evaluation of Caleb Williams going into year 2 is going to be how this team does overall, because they are in a position to win games.
So one thing I want to touch on, you said, like, I know any rookie pretty much in any sport, you want to see flashes their rookie season. Is that enough for a generational prospect, though, like Caleb Williams? Like, do you just need to see flashes, or like does he have to come out and not be Stroud from last year, but like I don't know. I feel like he almost has to come out and be really good, you know?
I think what you said the projections are an underdog are.
That's a great rookie season.
Great rookie season.
Right.
Depends on how many turnovers too, but
yeah, I mean, if the turnovers are around the like 10 to 13 mark, like
beautiful rookie
season. Yeah, I'm perfectly okay. Especially if they're able to rely on the defense and potentially rely on a run game with DeAndre Swift. I know there's mixed feelings about DeAndre Swift, but if they can rely on that a little bit, so it's not like it's a situation where if everything goes right, or not even everything, but if a lot of things go right, it's not going to be all on Caleb's shoulders to carry them and turn the franchise around. There's a lot of building blocks in other position areas on this team that make them a really good unit overall. So it's not all on Caleb's shoulders. He doesn't have to come in and have the best rookie season of all time for one, this team to win games, and for two, for people to still be high on him and like his future outlook. So
I was just curious how high the bar is for him.
I will say that.
I mean, the ceiling is the best rookie quarterback.
For sure.
I was about to say that. So, given the situation that he's been dropped into as the first overall pick, and I mean, look, you look at fantasy football, you look at anything, people are very high on Caleb Williams this year. Like, the expectation that the Chicago Bears would go to the Super Bowl from Nick Wright stems from the fact that Nick Wright firmly believes in Caleb Williams as a guy that's going to step in from day one and be a top 10 quarterback. Because I'm sorry, you're not making the Super Bowl without a top 10 to 12 quarterback at minimum.
Yeah.
It's just not how it works anymore. So Caleb, honestly, there is a world where he's a top 12 quarterback from the jump because of the situation that he's handed right now. But I'm going to bet on the history of rookie quarterbacks, and I'm going to say that he's going to be good. He's not going to be great off rip, and that's perfectly fine. But there's definitely a world where Caleb's putting up 4,400, 4,500, and like 32 touchdowns in his rookie year. Like, there's a world where he does that.
That'd be insane.
So, and that would just be ridiculous. That would just
be in the MVP conversation.
Definitely some pushback I have on the Bears, so is that they brought in Shane Waldron from Seattle, because it was kind of a shit show what he did last year with the utilization of their receivers and such. So that's kind of some pushback, but we'll see what he does.
Treatment.
Yeah.
Oh my God, disgusting, horrendous. But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. They're one of the more polarizing teams in NFL discourse.
Yeah, everyone's going to have their eyes on them for sure. So the next team we'll talk about is the team with the lowest over/under in the division, the Minnesota Vikings. Are at 7.5 wins. Probably gonna go on the under on this too. I like what the Vikings did in their offseason as a whole, and I mean, you still have Kevin O'Connell, so he can of course scheme up a great offense. It's just that I remember when we did this the first time, their first 6 games are brutal.
Disgusting.
Yeah,
bro.
Brutal first 6 games, and they're gonna start with Sam Darnold. I mean, unless J.J. McCarthy is just the greatest, rookie ever, and not the greatest rookie ever, but, has a great training camp and preseason and all. They're going to start with Sam Darnold, and then you're telling me they go, 2-4 into the bye week is best case scenario, I think we said?
2-4 is by far the best
case
scenario.
2-4, best case scenario. Franchise is upset, fans are upset, they're calling for the rookie. And I don't know that he's going to step in and do great things after the bye week anyway. So
the bye and would have to face Detroit.
Right. So I just don't see it for the Vikings this season. But I think they're more interested in just what are they going to get out of, what do they have in J.J. McCarthy and their young pieces and how to build for the future.
So I'll say if it's not the bye week that they end up making the switch, because maybe that's too early, because that happens in week 6.
Could be, yeah.
You wait another 2 weeks, and then you get a Thursday night game against the Rams, and then a 10-day layoff and then you have the Colts at home. You're at home against the Colts in week 9, and I think that could be an easier transition week where you say, all right, JJ, now's your time. We're going to put you in. Thank you, Sam Darnold, for getting absolutely obliterated by an early season schedule and us setting you up for failure. Now we can move on to JJ McCarthy. Or you have JJ sit his entire rookie season because something may happen with Jordan Addison that we don't yet know. And you don't want to just feed him to the wolves with just Justin Jefferson. I mean, granted, Justin Jefferson is Justin Jefferson, but you don't want to just give him one weapon. Maybe Hawk is back healthy by that time, so who knows. But all in all, look, this is a solid team. And if JJ was in year 2, I would say, you know what? Maybe they do end up competing because it's a great offensive line. Jettas is still Jettas. You got 2 capable running backs. The defense is, I guess, solid enough. There's pieces. They've added some guys this offseason. Jonathan Bullard, for sure, is a great player. Jonathan Grenard, sorry. Jonathan Bullard and Jonathan Grenard right here. He's a great player coming over from the Texans. Basically a Hunter for Grenard swap. And, I mean, obviously it's a worse player, but you also added Andrew Van Ginkel. And I just think that the additions that they made will help the defense a bit, but it's not enough.
Yeah.
It's not enough. So this would have to be a top 5 defensive unit for me to even feel any security with picking it over for the Vikings. And it's not, and I'm going to go under. So
cool.
Good luck, Sam.
You guys pretty much hit on everything. It's an easy under. You guys talked about the schedule. It's a gauntlet for them, especially given the quarterback situation. I love some of the moves they made. I think they're building a foundation and kind of moving on from that Kirk Cousins era. I love the moves they made on defense, but the NFC North is tough. The schedule is hard. I don't like the quarterback situation. It's an easy under, so I'm not going to spend too much time
and they
on
took
them.
Dallas Turner. That's a great pick, too, but outside of that.
What if Darnold just comes out and he's Geno Smith from a couple years ago?
I quite liked Sam Darnold, but I think he's being set up to get absolutely demolished.
Yeah. Sorry,
to be
Vikings
honest.
fans. It's gonna be a rough one. All right, next team we'll talk about is these next 2 teams are, they're talking about favorites in the NFC, maybe these guys, but the next team we'll talk about is the Green Bay Packers with an over-under of 9.5 wins. I'll start here. The Packers probably have some of the highest expectations coming off of last season across the board. There's a lot of expectation for improvement across the board. That young receiving core, I think it's still the youngest in the league, or it was last season, I know. Jordan Love obviously did what he did last season. Just got a big old bag of money, so you're going to want him to come out and ball out like he was second half of last season or the last however many games it was. I'm going to take the over here. I believe in the Packers. I believe in Matt LaFleur. I believe in Jordan Love. I believe in their scheme overall. I think they ran all over Dallas in that playoff game in the postseason last year. They signed Josh Jacobs, gave him a good amount of money. They're clearly going to commit to the run game, and I trust LaFleur to scheme up a good run game. And if you have the guy you think you have in Jordan Love, the $1 billion man, whatever you paid him, should be good enough. And they added McKinney on defense and someone else that Matt will tell you about. But I'm gonna trust in Green Bay's improvements, and I'm gonna believe in them to continue getting better.
I mean, yeah, you just said it. Their key addition was Xavier McKinney. I mean, outside of that, they didn't really make many additions, but they had a bunch of young players on defense that are going to be entering either their second or third year, and that's going to help a ton. And I think these guys are going to improve. They showed during the playoffs that they were ever improving. When Jair Alexander is healthy, this defense is a completely different unit. And, of course, we got to presume full health, and I think that's why this defense is going to be solid enough to hold up a top 5 offense in the NFL. I don't know how to feel about Josh Jacobs. Last season, he had no training camp, came into the season, and was, by every metric, horrendous. One of the least efficient running backs in all of football. But you know what? It seems as though the Packers player personnel, someone up there that's making those moves, believes Josh Jacobs has still got it in him. And even if he doesn't, Marshawn Lloyd is another guy that you could turn to that has some burst. the problem with him is fumbles, whatever. We move forward with that. I think Jacobs will be solid for this offense, at least solid enough. Then you go on to the receiving core or weapons in general, and you got Watson, Dobbs, Reed, Musgrave, Wicks, Tucker Kraft, if he's healthy come the start of the season, and a great offensive line when healthy as well. So, obviously, the receivers are young, but I'm going to trust from the eye test, from what I've seen in the past, from what I've heard in training camp, all of that stuff, that this team is ready to go, and all these young receivers are ready to take another step. Jordan Love is going to be in MVP conversations, in my personal opinion, this season. I think this is one of the easiest overs I'm going to take throughout any of the divisions that we've done. I absolutely love the Green Bay Packers, and I am definitely higher than most on this squad. For me, probably one of the 3 best teams in the NFC at the current moment. So,
yeah, it's tough with the Packers for me. I mean, we mentioned already that we did this podcast already, so I feel like I'm repeating myself, but you guys haven't heard this yet. But I agree with everything you guys say. I mean, this team is in a position to take another step up, like you guys mentioned, with all the young talent they have. They're in a prime position to take a step up. It's just something in my gut telling me that they're going to be one of the disappointing teams this year. And I don't think disappointing to the fact that they're going to miss the playoffs and be terrible and Jordan Love isn't the guy at quarterback. I just think they might not take this big step forward. And I think that's okay in terms of the Packers. It's really like I could be wrong. They could be, what you're saying, a Super Bowl contender, a top team in the NFC, and I could just be wrong. They could go out and win the division. Like, I'm not saying that's out of their range of outcomes. Honestly, like, they could be the best team in the division. My heart's just telling me they're going to go under. They're going to be fighting with the Bears for that last wild card spot. I don't think it's as simple as Packers are, like, way over the Bears. I think they're kind of in very similar tiers, and I think it could come down to something as simple as who has the better quarterback.
They actually play each other week 18, Packers and Bears. Can you imagine if they're fighting for the wild card spot? That'd be insane.
Spot, yeah, I mean, I think that's
in Lambeau.
Definitely possible. I don't think the Packers did enough on paper for me to say they're definitely taking this big jump. I think it's mainly predicated on the internal development of a lot of young players. And like I mentioned when we recorded this the first time, but it's not always linear progression. It's not always straight up like a 2K rebuild. So sometimes guys aren't going to get better. So, would I be shocked if just Jordan Love keeps getting better, their young receivers keep getting better? Absolutely not. But I also wouldn't be shocked if Jordan Love kind of has a little bit of a regression this year because he was so good last year and teams maybe figure him out a little bit. Maybe the young receivers aren't as good as, Jaden Reed was so efficient last year. Maybe he's not that good. Maybe Christian Watson keeps getting hurt. Maybe Josh Jacobs is who he was last year with Vegas and he's not that efficient. Maybe the defense keeps dealing with injuries, a la Jair Alexander. Like, there's as many things that could go right for the Packers. I think there's also a good amount of things that could go wrong. Like, I just don't think it's a lock for them to be good. And like I said, it's just something in my heart telling me that it's not going to be all sunshine and rainbows. This could be a team that the win total is 9.5.
Yep.
So yeah, this could be a team that I'm going to say wins 9 games, but gets hot at the end of the season and can go on a run in the playoffs.
Pick them over the Cowboys, yeah.
Yeah, like I'm not ruling that out of the equation. And I could also, like I said, I could be completely wrong and this team could win 11 games. Like I could be just off the mark, but I'm going to just go with an under. It's just what my heart's saying. So the heart wants what the heart wants.
So to push back on that a little bit, I don't think you need everyone to get better. I think we saw Jordan Love during the second half of that season not just be a good quarterback, not just be a great quarterback. Like, we're talking down the stretch of last season, played like one of the 3 best quarterbacks in the NFL last year.
I mean, we sat up here and we were like heavily debating between him and CJ Stroud, and none of us were clear on one or the other, but yeah.
So I
agree, but that's what I'm saying. But like, is that level of play like Are we stamping that in that level of play is sustainable for Jordan Love?
I am. Of
like
course,
I don't know if I'm. Yeah, I
mean-
just don't know if I'm there yet. Which like
That's fair.
Yeah, like he's great and has the potential to be one of those guys. Like obviously he just got paid like he's one of those guys. So I know that the NFL GMs know more than I do. So like if he's getting paid like one of those guys, he probably is. But me personally, I want to see it a little bit more. Maybe it's Jordan Love was basically a rookie last year. You know, so maybe we see a sophomore slump from him. You know, like it's common. It's common for it's common for guys to not. Yeah, he did, but it's not out of the range of outcomes for him to. I get it. Like if you're a believer in him, you're gonna predict that he just keeps getting better and better. Like that.
I don't even know if he
was my
better
guy
from what we saw the second.
Yeah,
half.
if he sustains that level of play, yes, that's what I mean. I just don't. I'm not 100% sold that like a top 5 quarterback in the league is sustainable for him. It could be. It could very well be, but maybe he's closer to a top 10-ish quarterback in the league, which is still good for this team, and they'll be able to win games.
Yeah.
Like I'm not predicting them to not win games, and like if we did, a playoff predictor, like I'd probably have them in the wild card.
Yeah, this is only a Super Bowl caliber team if Jordan Love is that guy.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
Because there's some situations such as the 49ers where it's like you don't need to have a
big justice
quarterback.
plate.
Yeah, this dude's it's a big boy.
Who ended up winning that game?
Fucking Bartolo. I don't know.
We did.
Oh.
I think we did. He's about to go yard, bro. But you don't need like a Brock Purdy to be a top 5 quarterback, but for this roster specifically, you definitely need a Jordan Love to be a top 5 quarterback and elevate his receiving core as well. So I think it'll be interesting. I love this team, and like I said, I think it's a top 3 or 4 roster in the NFC. So, different opinions. So
Can't find shit.
both sides of the coin, but
All right, I'll look it up later. All right, so the final team we will talk about in the NFC North is the current favorite to win the division, the Detroit Lions, an over-under of 10.5 wins. I think the only thing I need to say about the Lions is that Jared Goff plays 3 games not in the Dome this year. Those are the only 3 games they might lose. I'm going to smash the over
so
on
what you're
this.
telling me is that Jared Goff is going to win MVP this year.
Honestly, I don't think it's
Yo,
the craziest thing.
that's a sick dark horse pick.
It really is.
That's a crazy dark horse MVP pick. There
He
you
just
go.
throws a bunch of touchdowns
What's the
and throws
betting
for
odds?
that.
Do we
I'm
have
just about
MVP
to check
betting
that.
odds because
You can't bet that in New York, right?
wait.
Can you bet? You can't bet award winners in New York, right?
Okay.
Am I wrong?
No, you can't bet award winners.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I'll look it
Go to
up.
Jersey.
Yeah, I'll look it up. Vegas.
Drive
odds.
to Jersey after this and then make.
But yeah, I'm smashing the over on 10.5 for the Lions.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't even. I'm not going to dive too deep into this. We all know what the Lions are. I mean, this is arguably the best roster, top to bottom, in all of football.
I think they're America's sweetheart right now.
They are.
Yeah, everyone loves the Lions. Right?
They
There's
are.
going to come a point where everyone turns on them, but
It's kind
for
of
now,
scary because like it's also kind of setting up for failure.
yeah,
Like it is setting up to be this team with the wildest of expectations, probably the favorite right now to come out of the NFC, given they were also in the NFC Championship game last
you know
year.
something crazy?
What?
Jared Goff is on FanDuel. He's at plus 2,500. This is according to Vegas Insider. He's at plus 2,500. Justin Herbert is at plus 2,000.
Wow.
Isn't that insane?
That is kind of.
That's
I think that's fucking
Wild.
nuts.
That is wild. What is he like in terms of what number?
I
Yeah,
gotta
MVP
count.
vote.
1, 2, 3,
race.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
Okay,
12,
so he's
13.
not in the top 10.
13. Rodgers, Herbert, Dak, Tua, and then the
Okay.
obvious ones are.
I think good money on Jared. That's great odds for a guy who
not a bad bet.
when
I mean,
playing in a dome, I think was on pace for 4,800 and like 38 touchdowns last year, which that's MVP numbers, if we were wondering, by the way. And look, this team is stacked top to bottom. Their defense is great. They made big additions. DJ Reader, one of them. Marcus Davenport, another. Carlton Davis. And look, you draft Terrion Arnold. You add Amik Robertson. The secondary was the biggest weakness. They decided to shore that thing up entirely. And then outside of that, your other weakness was, I guess, the pass rush outside of Aiden. And you've also managed to shore that one up too. So I think it's very intriguing. This team is stacked top to bottom. There's depth. You have the best running back duo in all of
Yeah,
football.
there isn't a hole in the roster.
There is no hole on the roster. You're 100% right, Tom. So the best offensive line in football, and yeah, that's just that. They're insane.
Yeah.
Over, easy.
Yeah, it's an easy over. I think the question for the Detroit Lions is, can this team get over the hump and be a Super Bowl contending team? It's not about can they win the NFC North, you know. It's about getting over that hump, beating the 49ers or the Eagles or whoever's in the way and making it to the Super Bowl. So I think that's the question for this team. So, I mean, do you guys think they're Super Bowl contenders right now?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would
think so.
say they are the favorite to come out of the NFC.
Yeah.
Them or the Eagles, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on with the Niners right now, which makes it kind of hard to say that they're the favorites. So, yeah, I mean, the Lions are in prime position. I mean, this is a team, you know, I talked about it with the Packers where I think their success is entirely reliant on the internal development. This is a team that has, over the past few years, building this thing up, has been aggressive in the open market, whether it's a trade or in free agency. Plus, they have had all these draft picks over the years that they've hit on. This is a team that's relying on that internal growth, but also has brought in a shit ton of talent from, you know, free agency and stuff like that. I mean, this is a team that, like you mentioned, the game was in their fingertips last year. They were really one collapse away from making it to the Super Bowl. So, and they got better. Like you mentioned, the secondary was probably the biggest weakness, and I don't know if they shored it up, but they definitely made a legitimate attempt to shore that up. And I mean, there's really, like you mentioned, no weaknesses in this roster. So, yeah, I think they're a Super Bowl contender. I think they're the easy favorites to win this division. I'd be shocked if they don't win this division. So easy over.
I agree. And I'm a big Packers guy.
Yeah. All right. So moving on to the AFC North now. We are going to start with the dirty, grimy, nasty. Oh God, he's doing it again. Speak.
Hey, I just want to circle back to what Sully just said. He a bitch.
You said he's a bitch?
Who?
Yeah,
Him?
He a bitch.
No, you said you said he'll be a bitch?
No, he a bitch.
Oh, he a bitch.
I'm a
You
bitch.
a bitch. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was very thoughtful insight.
I
What are you
appreciate
guys
that.
talking about?
We just wrapped up the NFC North, doing the over-unders, win totals. Now we're about to do the AFC North.
Let me tell you how the NFC North is going to go. Ready?
Right, yeah, please.
Ready? It's going to go, it's going to go Lions,
Yeah.
and then, Green Bay,
Uh-huh.
Bears, Vikings.
Hot take.
It's almost like what we said.
Hot take.
It's almost like what we have.
I don't think that's a hot take. What, you think it is?
No, I'm being
No.
sarcastic. It's the most lukewarm take of all
I'll give you a
time.
hot take. I'll give you a hot take. I think for the first time since 2014 or whatever the fuck year Cody Parkey was the kicker for that dog shit Bears team. Oh, I have low tire pressure. Cody Parkey was the Bears will win the North for the first time in however many
You
years.
just put them in
Just
third.
said that
You
they were
just
going
put
to
them
be
in
in third.
No, that's my hot take. Fuck you guys. That's my real take.
Do you think the Lions are a Super Bowl contender?
Do I think the Lions?
Yeah.
No, honestly. I think because
No?
they have a lot of young kids. No, and I'll tell you why.
Young kids.
I'll tell you why. Ready? They are very. Hold on.
You got a bunch of little rascals
that
out there.
young.
They're really not. They got a bunch of little rascals out there.
No, not little rascals. Their secondary.
Gremlins.
Is too young. I have
Okay.
a lot of high hopes for them. I love Brian Branch. I
Uh-huh.
love the other kid. I don't know the other kid's name that they just drafted, but I think
Terrion
they're
Arnold.
Too.
Terrion Arnold.
Sure. Yeah. Him actually.
Yeah. He's real good. He's real good.
Sure.
They got
He's so
Carlton
good, I didn't
Davis.
know his name. Their secondary is honestly just too young. That there's too many good receivers in the league that they can't cover.
Interesting. Okay.
And the Bears got that on locks
Yeah.
with Jalen Johnson.
Yeah. The Bears are
They don't
locking
have a
shit
young
up.
secondary.
Yeah. He said the Bears got that unlocked with Jalen Johnson.
Yeah, I think honestly,
right.
Jalen Johnson is the third best quarterback in the league.
Oh, nice.
Sauce Gardner and
That's
DJ
my hot
Reader.
take. I'm a big Bears guy, not as big as fucking Chris O'Brien over there. Who fucking Caleb Williams and Roma Dunze.
Wait,
Oh,
you have
Dunze.
Dunze? Oh, yeah, you do. And then,
Yeah. All right. Well,
So,
thank you for that.
But I do like the Bears. Their pass rush just needs to be a little bit better.
Good take. Good take.
Wait, so who's above Jalen? Who's your top
who are
two?
the top two?
Top two what?
Corners.
Oh, well, all right. Unbiasedly, it's Pat Surtain, Sauce Gardner, Jalen Johnson.
Okay.
Cool. All right.
Biasedly, it's Sauce Gardner,
Right.
Pat Surtain, Jalen Johnson.
Biasedly. I don't think that's a word.
Biasly. Yep.
All right, Clem.
That means.
Well, your insight is always appreciated.
So that's my hot take for the day.
All right.
Thank you,
All right,
Clem.
for
Nick,
that.
right?
Enjoy
Thank you for that.
Love you, Clemmy.
my
All
ass
right.
like nobody's business right now.
Thanks for calling me a bitch.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
No, Sully, you're welcome. Now, come send me something for Isaiah Pacheco.
You don't want to trade with me. Everyone in that league hates me.
I didn't want to trade. I didn't want Troy Franklin, who, when you actually type into Google, it doesn't even pop up as the first guy. So that's why I don't want to.
I can almost guarantee it does. Can almost guarantee it does. You send me something, Clemmy. You know what? You send me something.
No, you want Isaiah Pacheco.
I don't give it. I don't need Isaiah Pacheco. I have the best team in the league already.
Troy Franklin
That's not
most
bothering
definitely
me.
is the
Well, I
best person that
would
comes
like
up.
him.
Right.
Oh, so you do want him.
All right.
All right. You guys can do this another
on your
time.
own
We got some
Hey,
stuff to do.
flip you,
all right?
man.
Enjoy.
All
Love
right.
you,
Thank
Clemmy.
you. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right. Well, that was a good 4 minutes.
Thank you, Clemmy.
Yeah. All right.
Is he the first person that pops up?
Yeah, he is 100%.
Of course he is, yeah.
Clemmy's just probably googling some weird shit, so it doesn't come
There
up
he
for
is.
him.
He's the first, like,
He's
100
definitely,
pictures.
yeah, okay. All right. So we'll start with the nasty, ugly Pittsburgh Steelers with an over-under win total of 8.5. And unfortunately, it might just be as simple as Mike Tomlin doesn't go under 500. And so it's an over.
8.5?
8.5. Jesus Christ.
Oh, boy.
What?
Come
I'm
on.
sorry. I just passed a billboard that Extreme Dwarfinators Wrestling is coming to
Jesus
something in
Christ.
Jersey.
Okay.
It's literally just, you have to cut this out. I don't know if it's appropriate. It's midget wrestling.
All right.
I
Thank
don't
you
think
for
I
that.
need to cut it out, but
You definitely
can
don't.
we just carry on?
Thank you for that.
Coming September 7th, we have to go.
Yeah. All right. We'll look into that.
You know how funny that is?
Yes.
Could you imagine watching like the fucking red nation of hornswoggles running out? And then there's just one sumo wrestler the size of me that just fucks them all up.
All right. That's pretty funny.
Could you imagine that?
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
We need to like bring the camera.
Take off of work.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't care how much the tickets are.
All right. You got it.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
They're like a grand.
Jesus Christ. Can you imagine?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
All right. Anyway.
Yeah, the Steelers. Fuck
Yeah,
them.
the Steelers. 8.5 wins. No, seriously though, I think the Russ Fields training camp battle is getting interesting because Russ is hurt and apparently Fields is having a really good training camp.
So interesting.
Yeah.
Russ is on his couch.
Right. Yeah, Russ is on his couch and still might get the job. But, so there is that. Especially they have been in and out of the Ayuk talks. I don't think he's going to end up there, but if he does, that definitely changes
Apparently
things.
he wants to be there.
He wants to go to Pittsburgh?
Apparently.
Really?
It's one of the reports I saw today.
Interesting. Okay. I feel like he's all over the place, but anyway.
There's 1.5 million reports about Brandon.
Yeah,
Bro.
they also. The Steelers' defense is always rock solid. You got T.J. Watt, one of the best in the game. Cam Hayward over there. They drafted that kid Peyton Wilson, who I saw his highlights on TikTok, and I thought he was a wide receiver for half the tape, and then he just started laying people out.
Yep.
He's a beast. That feels like one of those guys that's just gonna be a good football player. Like there's no question about it. They also brought Patrick Queen over. Still got Minka Fitz. So that defense is definitely rock solid. Offensive line got better. So I'll take the over here.
You know what else is rock solid?
What's up?
Yeah.
Yeet.
I don't know what just happened,
Yeet.
but I'm not sure.
Me.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Talking about the Steelers.
You're rock solid. For the
Steelers are getting you going.
Yeah,
Why?
I'm
Because
taking
Justin
the
Fields.
under.
Oh,
I just,
made this mistake last year, sir.
I'm going to keep making it. Come on, bro. Eventually, they're not going to win this amount of games.
I think if they won 9 last year, they'll win.
They
9
will win
this
it.
year.
Yep,
Yeah.
I agree.
Nah.
This roster's better. So if they get Brandon Ayuk,
Well, that changes things.
Right.
okay.
Oh, a good amount,
Right.
actually.
Yeah.
Cool.
But they don't have Brendan Ayuk
They
right
do
now.
not.
So I'm gonna
They
go
could
with
by the end of this podcast.
What is it? 8.5?
8.5.
Yeah, they'll get 8.
Instead of Brandon Ayuk, they have Cordero Patterson. So
They'll get 8.
so
That's
there.
just how I feel. I don't know. The defense is great. I mean, I don't really know how I feel about Russell Wilson as the quarterback. It's an upgrade over Kenny Pickett, but
Sure.
how much?
That's
Russell.
But again, they won 9 with Pickett.
Yeah.
And who was it?
And Mason
Trubisky?
Rudolph.
Oh, Mason Rudolph?
Yeah,
and
but
Trubisky.
eventually they're not going to get lucky
didn't win
like
9,
that,
they won
and they're going to.
110. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Eventually they're not going to get lucky like that and
Fair
bail
enough.
it out of, and eventually they're going to need like elite quarterback play to be able to win games.
Fair enough.
At some point, it's going to happen where they're just not going to get bailed out and lucky. Nick Chubb freaking tore his whole leg in half against them.
He sure did.
He sure did.
They also won 9 other games. So I don't know, man.
Sure, a bunch of guys got hurt in those games.
They have some voodoo magic or something.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. They have voodoo magic. Mike Tomlin's gonna do it
That's
again.
like literally
I
what
think
it
the
is. Though.
magic's going to wear off. Eventually, the magic's
I think
gotta
Mike
wear off.
Tomlin and Arthur Smith is a beautiful combination to win games in ugly, nasty
Yes.
Pittsburgh Steeler fashion.
So, like, look, we always shit on Arthur Smith.
He's a good OC.
No, he's good at his
Arthur
job.
Smith gets the job
Yeah.
done. He just does.
Yeah.
And this roster, unfortunately, fits ugly ass Arthur Smith football.
Right.
Not saying Arthur Smith is ugly.
Not saying he's not.
Not saying he's not ugly, but this fits Arthur Smith football. This fits Mike Tomlin football. That's why Mike Tomlin hired Arthur Smith. It's a match made in heaven. So I'm going to take the over. The defense is great. The offense is what it is.
I don't know if Arthur Smith football is good enough to get the job done in the AFC.
When you have
know.
Najee and Jalen Warren, I think it is. And just Russ
I
is
don't.
gonna.
It's not about having those guys. It's about the teams they have to face. Like, yeah, they have a pretty solid, great defense, but like some of these dogs in the AFC, I don't know.
Bro, they got.
The magic's just gonna wear out.
But I don't think they have magic against the division. They dominate this division
Yeah, no,
every
the magic's gonna run out.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's the Bengals.
Man, they start out, their first 3 games are Atlanta, Denver, LA.
LA who?
Chargers.
They're
Yeah,
going to
that's
take 2 of those 3, if not
pretty
all.
They
3.
could take
favorable.
3, you
Yeah,
know?
that's pretty
And then
They could
Indy,
start off 3-0.
Indy, Dallas, Vegas, Jets gets a little tougher. So
Bro, Indy, Dallas, Vegas, they could start the season fucking 6-1
that'd be something.
or 5-2.
That'd be something.
So, and then there you go. Boom. That's all you need. You need that little bit of confidence. And
It's not as simple for the Steelers as win a bunch of games early on and build the confidence. So we've seen the Steelers start great and crumble.
oh, we
sure
definitely
have.
seen that.
Yeah.
But that was also a different roster back then.
This roster stinks.
This team
They
is
have Russell
meant-
Wilson as their quarterback, bro. I'm
Maybe.
not
Bro,
moving.
Russell Wilson is better than Kenny Pickett,
He
Mason
is, but-
Rudolph, and
But Russell
Trubisky
Wilson being
combined.
bad combined with the magic running out is not going to make up for the gap between Russell Wilson and Kenny Pickett. It's like a math equation. You got to account for the magic running out.
I mean, yeah,
telling you.
I was gonna say the Magic running out. You really just can't argue with that. Like the
It's-
same way where we think like Mike Tomlin is just gonna get it done. Like,
bro, that man sold his soul to the devil to never finish under 500.
Well, the
That's a
devil
crazy
said, I don't
reason
want
to
this
sell
soul
your soul to the
anymore, and he's
devil.
giving it back.
Nope. Well, he won Super Bowls.
He's giving him his soul
Sure.
back, and the magic is gone.
No,
All right.
they can't. You can't give the soul back.
Goodbye, magic.
You sold it already.
well, I've had enough Pittsburgh Steelers talk. So that's we're pretty much just running around
At
the
least
same
we
point.
made Steelers talk entertaining.
Yeah. No, but yeah, okay.
It's disgusting football. More disgusting football.
More disgusting football is the next team we're going to talk about with the same over/under of 8.5 is the Cleveland Browns, and man, this is a rough one because like normally you're like, hey, you look what they did last season. Kevin Stefanski, Coach of the Year, right? They won games with Joe Flacco and not Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Who's the other? I know he played there too.
PJ Walker,
PJ Walker
XFL legend.
was under center for this team, and they were winning football. They won 10. They went 10-7 too, right? Was it?
Yeah.
They went 11-6.
11. It was 11-6. Jesus Christ. And normally you look at that and you say, well, now they're getting their starting quarterback back. They got to be better, right?
Nope.
But only he's fucking garbage. So I don't know with the Browns. it's just so hard to like. All these teams are gonna have winning
But
records.
don't forget.
I know.
Do not forget
I know.
the man that they now have as a backup.
Right.
I'll say it like this real quick.
You are basically getting the Joe Flacco experience again should something happen to Deshaun.
Bingo.
Right.
There it is.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Was his name-o.
J-Mo was his name. J-Bo was his name-o.
Jabu
J-Mo was
wins,
his name.
baby. Jabu wins. That's the Instagram handle.
I'm honestly, look, I'm never going to root for someone to get hurt, but I will pray for Jameis Winston football every chance I get.
No.
I will take every ounce of Jameis Winston football I can get.
I don't ever hope for someone to get hurt, but if there ever was a situation where I really
Sure.
hope someone gets hurt,
Sure.
I will feel zero remorse if he gets hurt.
Right.
And then
No,
we
that's
lend
fair.
to Jameis Winston coming in.
Yeah.
There's every reason for me to want that.
Yeah.
Every single reason.
Yeah. But, I mean, realistically, though, you look at this defense, it's as solid as it comes. I mean, you got Myles Garrett, one of the best in the game. You got a cornerback duo of Denzel Ward and Greg Newsome, who are really, really good at their jobs. I think they lost Clowney. Was it
did.
Clowney that was on the yeah,
But he was with the Ravens. He was with the
I always
Ravens,
mix him up with
But I'm pretty sure he was with the Browns a couple years ago.
yeah,
It's Zadarius Smith. They
Zadarius
still
Smith.
have,
I
by the way.
always mix that up. Okay, so they still have Zadarius Smith. Yeah, I mean, if Ayuk comes over, because that seems like it could happen. If he's with Cooper, that obviously changes things.
It's not happening.
But I don't think that's going to happen. If he replaces Amari Cooper, I know we said it yesterday, but it's in the shadow realm.
Yeah.
Ayuk's better than Cooper, but I don't think he's that much better than Cooper, where he like changes. I don't think he really changes the win-loss total. So I still don't know where I'm going with it though, because it's just like they won 11 games last year. You know, Stefanski's just that guy. I feel like if I'm taking the Steelers to win 9, I got to take the Browns to win 9, right?
No,
You don't think so?
they're not the same.
You think the Steelers are better than the Browns?
I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I'm saying that Russell Wilson is better than Deshaun Watson at this point,
Sure.
which means a lot.
Which does mean
given
a
that
lot.
he's a game manager at this point in his career, and
Yeah, I
Watson
think
still thinks he's the old Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I think I got to take the under, man. I don't believe in Deshaun Watson. I don't know. You don't know what version of Nick Chubb you're getting. You know, he absolutely ruined that leg. So, it's not looking. You know, it doesn't look good for him being an older running back. So, I'll take the under here.
I absolutely love Nick Chubb. That's how I'm going to start this off. I wish him the best recovery ever.
It's
I hope
insane.
He has his AP year.
It's a blessing that he's playing football again.
Yes.
Like so.
And
for us to-
squatting like
for-
600 pounds.
For anyone
by the
to
way.
expect him to return to old form, like that's just way too high of a bar for the man. I just want
Once
to
he
put that out
steps
there.
foot on a football field, I'm going to cheer my ass
Right,
off
yeah,
and be happy as
'cause-
hell about
yeah,
it.
for sure.
But that doesn't do me any good in terms of picking an over-under for the Browns.
Right.
So I'll put it like this. If Deshaun Watson is the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, I will happily take the under. If Jameis Winston ends up as the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns for 4 or more games, I would happily take the over, but that's not a guarantee. Deshaun Watson is the starter, so I'm going to take the under. The rest of this roster, if you gave them an average quarterback for an entire season, is legitimately a contender.
That's been the story for. He's sitting right here, man. Fresh off the couch. Fresh off the couch. That's
Give
been
them
the story.
Chris, they'll be better off.
That's been the story for Cleveland since they got Deshaun, because he's just been horrible. But yeah, I mean,
Guaranteed, baby.
right. And Njoku was amazing last season.
With
Yeah,
Flacco.
Right, with Flacco, not with Deshaun. He's still a great player.
I'm going to go with the over. I think between the Steelers and the Browns, both of them had voodoo magic last year. One of them is going to continue to have voodoo magic. So I went against the Steelers' voodoo magic. I'm going to go.
You'll take the Coach of the Year voodoo magic?
Yeah, I'm going to.
Solid.
I mean, the defense is on paper. You could sit and make the argument all day long for them being the best defense in the league on
Right.
paper. I think that's good enough to win games for this team. I think Deshaun Watson will have. I'm not saying he's going to get back to Deshaun Watson form, but I'm gonna trust that my guts tell me that he'll have a little bit of a bounce back year and be just serviceable enough.
He's
for
just
this
been
team.
so bad that, like, how could he not, you know?
Yeah, I think he's like due for it. You know, he's so bad that, like, all right, like you have to be a little bit better. If not, you're just sad. He could just be sad, but
He could just have pulled off the greatest heist of all time.
Yeah. He also has a messed up throwing shoulder. So
Right.
I think he's gonna give us enough.
us.
He's gonna give it to us.
If there's one thing about Deshaun Watson, he does not give a fuck whether you want him to give it to you or not. He will give it to you.
I don't want it, Deshaun. I don't. I really
Keep it
don't.
in.
Oh, Lord.
Not you, Deshaun.
Oh, no. I want Jameis. I want all of Jameis.
I want all of the J-Bo.
I want all of
Especially
Jameis.
like if you if we talk fantasy and I have Amari Cooper, I want all the Jameis Winston I could get, you know?
Yeah, or in
Njoku, yeah.
Brandon Ayuk,
Right. Oh, yeah.
depending on what happens there. But yeah, I don't want to talk about the Browns either.
All right. So we don't have to
gross
anymore.
ass
Good
team.
thing it's our podcast.
Fuck them.
All right. So 2 teams left in this division, both with the same over-under. I'm going to save, I think, the more controversial one for last. So we're going to talk about the Baltimore Ravens here, the team that won this division last season. Their over-under is 10.5, and I feel like this is an easy one too. What were they, 13-4 last year?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were.
Yeah, I think this is an easy one for me. This is an over. They just added Derrick Henry. Gus Edwards scored 10 touchdowns behind that unit last year. Derrick Henry's going to do nasty, disgusting, despicable things.
line.
I mean, it's so easy, right?
I know. I just feel like especially since we recorded this one already,
Yeah.
I feel like I've heard you say that line so many times.
Yeah, but nobody's heard it.
I know.
Because it's just in the shadow realm.
Well, congrats, people. You heard it.
But you heard it, you know?
Nasty, disgusting.
Nasty, disgusting
Derek.
things. No, Derek.
Oh, Derek.
Need to take these microphones away from
Yo,
us.
that man
Yeah.
swinging.
Yeah.
He's built like
I think he had to register it with the Department of Defense.
Yeah.
That's how.
It's a weapon. It's a weapon.
That's crazy.
That's the king.
He is the king, and
Boom.
he's the king, and he's built like a Greek god. It
He
doesn't
is
get
built
much
like
better.
he's built like a fucking Mack truck. I think is, you know.
He's got one in his pants too.
I don't even know how to like bring us back to earth. You know, like usually I'm the one that's like, yeah, fuck it, let's go off the rails. But anyway,
He's a train.
Yeah,
All right.
no, we got it.
he's a train that runs
He can
trains.
run one on
Anyway.
us.
Oh my god, bro.
Jesus Christ! It's not even like usually when it's super late. That's when we get like rowdy. It's 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah, but we had to make this more entertaining for ourselves because we did
right,
this
you guys
already.
have to understand, like we're like the Gus thing.
Look.
Again, I've probably said it on 3 podcasts that nobody's
Oh my
seen.
god!
So, yeah. Anyway, coming back around, Derrick Henry is a huge addition for them.
Yeah, damn right he is.
All right. Derrick Henry is going to measure up to be a massive get.
Yo, he might carry a massive load. He might be able to take some of Lamar's load.
Oh
Jesus
jeez.
Christ.
Oh,
I don't even know how to talk about Derrick Henry without talking about his massive cock.
oh, that's what we were
mean, let's
talking about.
Fuck what?
Oh, man, I'm
didn't know
crying,
that.
bro.
It was just me.
That
Keep
was
it
good.
PG.
All right, so you know
on.
how we feel about Derrick Henry. Very, very high, very high
There are other
praises.
players on this roster.
Oh yeah, he makes us feel good.
Very high praises for Derrick Henry from the BallGame podcast. Yeah, full season of Mark Andrews, cool. Take it. You guys take
Yeah,
it
this
there.
is an
Over 10
easy
and a half.
over. It's kind of a simple formula in the Lamar Jackson era. When Lamar Jackson is healthy for a full season, the Ravens cakewalk to 10+ wins. So he's going into the season healthy,
Yeah.
so I'm going to predict they cakewalk to 10+ wins.
Yeah.
It's really simple. They had some losses on defense, but this was overall such a great unit that I don't think it's gonna bother them.
They
that
always
much.
figure it out
Yeah.
on defense. They always get
Yeah,
it together.
so-
Over.
Death taxes and the Ravens having a top 5 defense.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the over for sure. I mean, they lost a couple players on offense and defense that matter a lot, but look, you got Roquan Smith, who's a game changer. Justin Madubuike's still here, which was an important one for them. I think they'll be fine. They always manage to make a pass rush out of thin air too.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they'll continue to figure that one out.
Roquan's football IQ is off the charts.
Oh, he is
Insane.
It's either him or Fred Warner that are the best inside linebacker in
for
the
sure.
NFL.
Yeah.
And I don't know who it is. That's how good Roquan is.
Yeah.
So
All right. Well, that was a roller coaster. That was a long ride.
it was a good one though.
Jesus
I
Christ.
loved that
Throwing
ride.
up my insides after that ride.
I think I have internal damage.
All right. Speaking of huge cocks, we're going to talk about Joe Burrow now.
Some white,
Quiet confidence.
some great white
All right.
shark down there.
All right, bro.
Okay, let me compose myself.
All right.
So the last team we're going to talk about today is the Cincinnati Bengals. They also have an over/under of 10.5, led by Slim Shady himself. I'm gonna take the over here as well. I know their key loss was probably DJ Reader on defense, but Lou Anarumo, said that right?
Yeah.
Lou Anarumo,
Staten Island born.
Staten Island legend, always seems to figure it out on defense for the Bengals and gives them a pretty good one. And combine that with a healthy Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins running it back as that elite offensive trio, I'll take the over on that.
Yeah, you just mentioned that duo right there. Well, the trio, obviously. This is the last ride.
Yeah.
T will not be
He's
a
going.
Cincinnati Bengal after this season. I can almost guarantee that one. Yeah, I mean, I love this roster. I think it's great top to bottom. What was their over under 10.5?
10.5.
I'm probably going to take the over. If we get a full bill of health from Joe Burrow, Lord knows what Jamar
Take
Chase
11,
is going to
yeah.
do. Because Jamar Chase will do nasty things to every other team in the NFL. Like, for real. He will have one hell of a season. You guys didn't get to see our wide receiver rankings yet, but stay tuned. That will be coming. No pun intended. Given all that we just
I don't think anyone thought
think anyone was thinking
No,
that.
I know,
yeah.
but given everything we were just talking about, it felt wrong. It felt wrong. But no, I like this team a lot. I'm going to take the over. I don't know which team I prefer. I don't know if I think the Ravens are better or this team is better. But,
I think regular season I'll take Baltimore, but come playoff time, it's
since
yeah,
he's
it's
probably
could be a
the better
different story,
playoff
yeah.
team. I mean, outside of having Derrick Henry now, but
Right.
that'll make a big difference. But you said they lost B.J. Hill. Well, they added Sheldon Rankins.
I did
who's
not
also,
say that. I said DJ.
Or not
Reader.
B.J. Hill. B.J. Hill is a former Giant. Love
Yeah.
that man. They lost DJ Reader. Both of them have DJ and BJ. It was a good duo. Now they added Sheldon Rankins instead to replace him. So, I mean, that's still a great add. It's a good team, top to bottom. One of the better rosters in the NFL. It's an over.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest concern with the Bengals going into last year was obviously, going into the season, it was the health of Joe Burrow because he was hurt from the beginning of training camp. But aside from that,
Terribly managed too by them.
yeah,
by the way.
yeah,
Terribly.
yes, very poorly. But also was the loss of Jesse Bates at free safety for them. I was on the podcast saying that I thought that was going to have a bigger impact on their season than people accounted for. And, the defense was fine last year. They were pretty middle of the pack. I always say it. I think Lou Anarumo was kind of cut from that Steve Spagnuolo cloth of not only are his defenses better come playoff time, but his defenses just get better as the season goes on. How they perform in week 1 is not nearly as well as they'll be performing in week 17, week 18, and come playoff time. It's something that we've seen happen on multiple occasions at this point that we kind of just have to expect to happen, that some of these guys will, as a unit, they'll play bigger than some of their individual parts, all that fun hoopla. But in terms of Joe Burrow, he went, like I mentioned, he went into the season hurt last year. They kind of put it together for a stretch. I have it in front of me and all the efficiency stats and EPA stats and all that. From week 5 to week 9 last year, they were really up there, and they had some high quality wins. They beat the Niners on the road and they beat the Bills in that time frame. So they were kind of starting to put it together, and then Joe Burrow got hurt against the Ravens, unfortunately. But this team was able to squeak out wins despite that. They won 9 games last year? 8 games?
Yeah, they won 9 and 8.
Yeah.
They won 9 and 8 last
Every
year.
team in that division was 500 or better.
Yeah, so you sub out Jake Browning for Joe Burrow. I think you could easily get over 10.5 wins. So, yeah, I'm taking the over. I think Joe Burrow's in for a huge year. mentioned it on our receiver rankings. That's in the shadow realm. I think Jamar Chase is primed for a huge year. I just think his target share has gone up every year, and we also know like the threat he is to just take one play to the house and just completely flip a game on its head in a matter of seconds with one play. So if you're giving a guy like that a lot of volume, it gives a lot of opportunity for the Bengals offense as a whole to just put up so many more points and kind of just blow people out, honestly. I think there's going to be a lot of games where this offense is just firing on all cylinders and they kind of just blow people out. So I'm very high on the Bengals this year. I'm going to go with the over.
Yeah, I mean, real quick, my biggest question mark with this team, I will say, is the secondary. But I like Cam Taylor-Britt. I think he's a solid player. DJ Turner's decent as well. But all in all, just how do the corners hold up? I think the pass rush is going to be really good this season. But all in all, I mean, like he said, it is a great roster. But on the Jamar Chase point, last season he had the lowest ADOT of his entire career, average depth of target. And that was because he had Jake Browning and an injured Joe Burrow for much of that season. From weeks 5 to 9, not only was Jamar Chase fantastic, but Joe Burrow was on pace for over 5,000 yards. If you extrapolated that over a full season, 5,000 yards and over 40 touchdowns. So healthy Joe Burrow is still that fucking dude, by the way. Yeah. So I pray for full health for Joe, and apparently in training camp, he looks better than he ever has. So
he cut off his hair. He doesn't look better than he ever has.
He looks. I think he looks cool with that shit.
You think he looks better than with the long hair?
But like
he's way sexier with long hair.
I quite like the buzz cut.
He looks good though, definitely.
I think it's too light.
He looks good regardless.
He is a handsome dude. He's a very handsome dude. I'm not gonna lie. So,
all right.
All right.
That's the end.
Were we going to do the draft?
Yeah, we could do a draft. Okay. Do we want to do... I feel like now that I think about it and I pondered on it, let's just do offense.
Yeah,
I feel like defense is silly.
Yeah.
So
let's do a fantasy team. 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, tight end, and 1 flex.
Okay.
Fantasy line.
Sure. All right.
So do an intro.
All right.
Drafting a fantasy team with only players from the NFC and AFC North.
All right.
Something like that.
Oh, doing both divisions in one draft?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, okay. That makes more sense. Well.
Yeah. We have to. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was thinking. When you said 2 and a flex, I was like, oh, all right.
Drafting a fantasy lineup using players from only the AFC and NFC North.
All right. So what are the positions?
Quarterback, 2 running back, 2 receivers, tight end, and 1 flex.
Okay.
Cool.
Running back is going to be a rough one.
Just kicking it off.
Tom, go ahead.
I'll kick it off.
And then me.
Thinking, do I just snag the best guy or do I go positional? With the first pick, I think you just snag the best guy, and I'll worry about the rest later. So with the first pick, I'm going to select Jamar Chase. Easy as that.
Wow. What a shocking pick.
Man, that's who I was going to pick. Now I kind of have to change my plan.
There's a clear-cut top 3.
You guys aren't looking at the teams, right?
No.
Okay.
Oh, we're just going off the dome?
Nah, I'm going to go
go off the dome.
Yeah, like a real man.
Fuck up. It'll be legendary.
Man.
All right.
You're really struggling
Come on, man. Stick with the rankings, brother.
I'm going to go with Amon-Ra St. Brown here at the 102.
Yeah, with the 103, I'm going to take Justin Jefferson. I feel like that's a pretty obvious one. And since I have back-to-back picks, I'm also going to take Jahmyr Gibbs.
See, that's why I didn't want to say with the rankings, bro. You tricked me into saying with the rankings.
What?
I wanted to take Jahmyr Gibbs because then I
was
knew
also thinking of taking Jahmyr Gibbs.
because the running back is weak. So now I should be able to get one of Jeddah's or Amon-Ra, whoever you didn't take. But now I don't get Gibbs.
Well, I would have taken
me.
both the receivers. If you took Gibbs.
Well, I would have got someone else, but now I can't get Gibbs.
All right, fuck that. I would have got somebody else.
I would have taken Jeddah's and Amon-Ra. So
next up, I'm going to take... Man.
Yeah, this gets... Off the dome is tough.
Yeah.
Off the dome.
I'm going to fuck something up for sure.
I'm going to look like an idiot.
I'm going to take Mark Andrews here. I'm going to get far and away the best tight end on the board here.
Interesting. Okay.
So I'm up. All right, with back-to-backs, I have Jamar Chase.
Wow. I'm a silly little guy.
Is he far and away?
Yeah, you definitely forgot about somebody, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I remembered him now.
Yeah, I thought it was a fine pick, like if you think he's better, but to say he's far and away, I'm like, oh, he clearly forgot.
Yeah,
about
nah, I
the other
forgot
guy.
about his guy.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select that guy and secure one of my onesie positions here, and I'm gonna take Sam Laporta with my first of my back-to-back picks, and then I will go with, let's see, man, feels wrong not to after we just talked extensively about his wood. So I'll take Derrick Henry to be my RB1.
I'm going to go Lamar Jackson here. Get the stack with Mark Andrews, the best quarterback on the board, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, the best quarterback on the board.
Yeah, pretty obviously the best quarterback on the board.
Big Troes. Woo
It's
woo.
close though.
Woo, woo.
Very close though. All right. I don't want to miss anybody here. I feel like I'm gonna make a tremendous mistake.
Yeah, somebody's gonna go undrafted, and we're gonna get flamed.
Yeah,
but it's lit.
Yeah, I just want to go
Views
through
are
all the
views.
teams real quick. All right. This gets tough. I'm gonna pass up on someone that I really shouldn't pass up on. I'm gonna go with I have back-to-back picks here. I'm gonna settle my because I know I could wait on the onesie positions at this point. I'm gonna take T. Higgins, and I'm going to take. I don't want to make a mistake here. I'm trying to go through every team. Bengals, Steelers, Ravens, Browns. Ooh, and Amari Cooper.
Okay.
Pending on the trade.
Well, no, just take him.
No, you took Amari
Yeah.
Cooper, brother.
Well, yeah. But if he gets traded, then
The draft's over.
Yeah.
This is the draft.
Yeah, this is
What
the
do you
draft.
mean?
You
You
gotta
don't
take
get to
Amari
wait
Cooper.
until he gets
Unless you want to
traded.
not take him because there might be a trade.
but then do I just get do I now have a vacant spot if he gets traded, or is it Brandon Ayuk?
No, it's just Amari Cooper.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
that's
cool.
it.
All right, I'm
You
in.
get Niner Amari Cooper if anything.
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay,
All right.
I'm gonna go with the best running back left on the board. I'm gonna go with Josh Jacobs here.
Okay, so I'm up with back-to-backs. I have a running back, a receiver, and a tight end. Let's see. Getting pretty dicey here. So if I want to go receiver, I think the best guy left on the board is. I know the name, but I don't want to say it until I make my final decision.
you're back to back.
Right. Yeah. So.
Say my name. Say my
Say his
name.
name, bro.
name,
Even
say
if you're
my-
not drafting.
Yeah, no,
'Cause we
it's,
all know
the
who
name
it
is
is.
Zay Flowers. Yeah.
Oh
Mm,
Oh, is it not?
no,
that's sexy.
but nice.
Wait, no. Oh fuck! Who am I missing?
I don't know. Don't listen to him, bro.
Yeah,
Just
don't
draft
listen
who you want to draft, bro.
No, I don't want Zay Flowers. That's why I'm trying to think of another name. I have another guy, but I don't know that he's better than Zay. All right. I'm gonna secure my RB2 and take the touchdown merchant in David Montgomery, and then with my last back-to-back pick here, let's see, Browns, Steelers, Browns, Steelers, Ravens, Bengals.
Yep.
Okay. Packers, Lions, Vikings. Wait for it. Bears.
There it is.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I forgot all about the Chicago Bears. I'll take DJ Moore as my wide receiver, too.
Still one remaining.
I'll take George Pickens.
There it is. So I have both my wide receivers and my flex spot settled. I have one running back. So the best running back remaining from these two divisions is likely Aaron Jones, unless I'm missing someone.
Interesting.
Lions, Vikings, Packers. You already took Jacobs. And the Bears, and I'm fuck Swift. Henry. Nah, neither of the Bengals running backs. Nah, I'm not taking Ford, and I'm not taking Jalen or Najee. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Aaron Jones as my RB2, and I have back-to-back. So now I leave myself with one of the onesie positions. And you both took tight ends, so that's gonna force me to quarterback. I have him higher in my personal rankings. I'm gonna go with Jordan Love.
Okay. What do I need left? I need an RB2 and I need a flex.
Think so.
All right. I'm gonna go.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna go with DeAndre Swift here, to be my RB2.
All right, so I need a quarterback and a flex. I think the quarterback is pretty obvious. So, I'm gonna get the stack here too. Yeah, give me Joe Burrow. One of you take? No, neither of you took him, right?
No,
okay, yeah. I'm gonna take Joe Burrow, and just to be a dick at the end here for my flex spot, I'm gonna take David Njoku and leave Matty J with an interesting decision to make at tight end.
Cocksucker. You ruined your own team.
Why?
There's better flex options.
Yeah, but now your team sucks. There's better flex options, but they're not like awesome.
Jaden Reed is awesome.
Jaden Reed's cool. But now you gotta go. Now you gotta take like Pat Fryermuth or something. So it's lit.
Oh, I'll take Jaden Reed.
Gotta take Pat Fryermuth.
You don't.
There's someone else.
Who are you gonna take?
Silly goose.
Okay.
TJ Hawkinson.
Oh yeah, he's gonna miss for the first like few games of the season and then suck.
You're
So
gonna start the season 0-5. You don't have a backup. This is
not
no
true.
bench league.
he's gonna have to call me and make a
This is
trade.
no
That's all.
bench league.
He'll be
bro.
ready for week 1.
Will we?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think.
I don't think so.
I hope TJ's going to be ready for. We're going to check the reports and then we'll end this thing. I want to know if TJ Hawkinson is going to be ready for week 1.
I think he's on the pop.
TJ, not 2. TJ Hawkinson. Not yet ruled out for week 1. Hawkinson is in the process of recovering.
Cry me a river.
All reports out of camp are
Your team
optimistic.
sucks, bro. Your team
well
sucks.
ahead in his recovery timeline.
Your
Team
team
sucks.
sucks.
Not ruling out the
Bro,
possibility
you
of
took
week
Jordan
1.
Love,
Your
bro.
team sucks
You're
without Njoku.
Yeah, Jordan Love's a
You're
beast.
cooked.
He's going to win MVP this year.
Trade me Jettas for Njoku.
No. All right.
Anyone wanna run through their
that's
teams?
everything. Yeah. So I'll run mine down real quick. I have Jordan Love, Jahmyr Gibbs, Aaron Jones, Justin Jefferson, T. Higgins, T.J. Hawkinson, and Amari Cooper.
I have Joe Burrow, Derrick Henry, David Montgomery, Jamar Chase. My wide receiver too.
Well, you don't have one then.
DJ Moore.
DJ Moore, Sam Laporta, and David Njoku are my flex.
Oh, we forgot about Keenan Allen.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
really.
so I got Lamar, Josh Jacobs, DeAndre Swift, Amon-Ra St. Brown, George Pickens, Mark Andrews, and Jaden Reed. My team's nice.
My team's the best, but
My team is
would have been the
definitely-
best, but I went to sabotage.
You could have
Matty
been the
J
best,
instead. Yeah, I
yes,
could've.
for sure. But you
All right.
decided to sabotage me, and I still ended up with the best team. So flip you.
Nah,
Flip you.
you don't got the best team, dog. So
I have Jamar and Burrow.
So
I have
win.
Lamar and Manders.
I win.
I have the best roster.
Bro, I have Jaden Reed. There's no Jordan Love without Jaden Reed.
I have Jamar Chase and
There's
Derrick Henry's
Christian
fat
Watson,
cock.
Romeo Dobbs, and Dontavion Wick.
Derrick
Bruh.
Henry's cock is a second flex.
yeah.
That's a flex. No, just a regular
That's
flex.
my
That
flex.
is a
Fuck
flex.
David Njoku.
That is a flex.
Derrick Henry's third leg is my cock.
If you learned anything from this
All right.
podcast, it's we love Derrick Henry's dick.
Oh wait. Oh, they were holding. Oh no, never mind. Did we win?
I think we won. I can neither confirm
All right.
or deny that.
Send us out.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us on all of our socials. Cabo BallGame 1K hoodie. There is preseason football tomorrow or today, depending on when you are watching this. Probably tomorrow. There is Olympic sports on. What other sporting events are on? We lost the one yesterday.
Dinger
Where I
Tuesday.
said-
Dwarf
there is
wrestling.
Dinger Tuesday.
Dwarf wrestling
Where
is
I
on
said
apparently.
baseball is a thing, dwarf wrestling is also apparently a thing now. Big shout out to Clemmy.
Yep.
Dinger Tuesday.
Dinger Tuesday.
Be a part of it. And with that,
Ball
game.
game.